Yeah, here I am. Let me straighten out, get the sound working right. What a horrible background picture. All right. Let's drop this down. And, I look sleepy. Sorry, I need more coffee. It says unmute. All right.
Horrible background picture.
All right. Oh no, I have to mute it because it's it's delayed. If I unmute it, I hear myself 3 minutes before. Okay, so it has an automatic delay. I forget about that. We changed a lot of settings this morning, so we'll see how it works. What do we got here? Top of the morning to you, young man. Well, thank you, Dave. And another David. Morning, Goldfinger. Morning. Thursday evening here at Edmonton, Alberta. Oh, I'm getting Canada. Cool. Back to Dave. Smoking a coffee. Well, coffee. I don't smoke. I hear you fine. That's good. Thank you. I'll get a couple people on here. I had to do some setting changes this morning. YouTube said my settings on OBS was completely wrong, and I had to go through a whole bunch of settings. It wanted me to do a test. That never happened. I wasn't awake enough to figure out all the instructions. You know, I'm not liking Chat GPT, even when I pay for it. I gotta change it to a different AI. Anybody know a really good AI? Hey, DJ, how you doing? Yo, yo, yo. I need a better AI. Chat GPT, even when you pay for it, and then they have a tiered program where you can pay extra more. It's got to be an American-based AI because it constantly is giving me things that you would expect that a politician would say in the U.S. When I ask it questions about peptides and dosing and stuff like that, oh, that's not approved. You know, that's not FDA tested and blah, blah, blah. And you can't do that and you can't blah, blah. And I was like, I'm tired of hearing. I need to get a Chinese one to get. Isn't that terrible? I have to look for a Chinese AI so I can get the freedom of conversation. There's something wrong with that, okay? Considering that, you know, China's communist. Rodney, how you doing? Good morning. You'll be here in February. Yeah, definitely we'll catch up for coffee. Just hit me up. I haven't been to Ground Zero in a while. I really need to go there and see my friends that go there, and we chat. Anyway, who knows a good AI? I'm not liking chat. It gives you too much information. It's very careful not to give you anything medical or political answers, and it's always a CYA with it. And then it starts giving me two different options of answers. I don't need two different. I don't have time to read two different options of answers. Just give me the answer, and it always gives me more information than I actually need. I find that very annoying. Just answer me. Don't give me a whole bunch of nonsense that I don't need to hear. Maybe I'm just getting old and grouchy. Well, yeah, I am old and grouchy. I already am old and grouchy. That's the truth. Anyway, let's wake up. Let's do the startup. Here's a startup. And wake up, guys. Wake up. All right. I'm officially started. Oh, God. I have some new toys I bought for my studio. I bought a new Stream Deck. I don't know if you can see this or not. A Stream Deck. Basically, a Stream Deck lets you press buttons to do automatic things like titles, pictures, rolling pictures. And I got to hook that puppy up this weekend, and it looks complicated. I always have bikes for sale. Everybody's been hitting me up to buy bikes, and honestly, I'm kind of running low on my bikes. I actually bought 3 bikes in the last 3 days. But when I buy them new, I obviously can't sell them because I have too much into them. I don't buy them brand new. I buy them with a few. I buy the repo ones that are still 24, 25 year, 2024, 25. and I buy them with under 5,000 kilometers on them, preferably under 3,000, and I buy them from dealers at repo. And that way, I already get the license plate and the registration with them, which is kind of important because you technically can't drive a brand new bike on the street until you get that, and it takes 3 months from the LTO to get a registration here. So actually my bikes sell very quickly because they're already oil changes. I got paperwork, gear oil changes. They're maintained. I keep them in perfect condition. They all have a top box, a nice one, a nice phone holder. So everybody likes the bike. So I do sell almost 1 or 2 a month. Hey, Dan. Glad you could join us. All right, so we're already up to 31. Don't forget to hit the like button. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? I made some notes. The very first thing we're going to talk about is, where's my notes? Here's my notes. Medical information, news about our friend Nick with a quadruple bypass surgery. Okay, let me move these notes over. Come on, move. We're going to move you over to up here, I think. Maybe I better put it up here. All right. So you can't see my notes, but I can see them. All right. So my good friend and the person who set up electronically this studio had a heart attack last week and has been through hell, okay? He first went to ACE, and ACE couldn't really do anything for him. They didn't have the surgeons or the equipment. They got him, to the point where he could travel to Silliman, sent him over to Silliman Hospital. They did an angiogram, only they claimed they didn't have the equipment to put in a stent. So then he had to be sent to Cebu for a better hospital. This is kind of disheartening because you would think that if you have a problem with something serious, that you should be able to go to a hospital here in Dumaguete. Not the case. If you have a heart or a stroke, they can get you to the point where you could be traveling to a better hospital. That's not what I wanted to hear. That's not really what I wanted to tell people, but that's what it is. So unfortunately, hospitals in Dumaguete are not properly set up, or they don't have the surgeons that are capable of taking care of the problem. They have to send you to a hospital in Cebu or Manila. And they allowed him to fly on a commercial flight, even though they said he had 3 blockages that were 90%. It was either 2 or 3 at Silliman after doing a angio, I think it's called angiogram, where they inject something in your wrist and then it's kind of like a something that they could follow on an x-ray. But when he got to Cebu, they said, well, their angiogram that they got, the video wasn't clear enough. They wanted to do an angiogram again. I think they pretty much said, we don't trust Silliman, is what it amounted to. And so what they did was they did an angiogram again, and they found 9 blockages, 4 of which were 99%. So it was a lot worse. So it was good news and bad news. As the good news, he got to a better hospital. The bad news was that he has 9 blockages, and they said there's no way we could do that many stints and not have a vein burst. So he had to go quadruple bypass because one of his veins had 3 blockages in the same vein, and they said there's no way, and 1 or 2 of them were 99%. And they said, "There's no way we can get to put stents into single vein 3 places without it bursting." And they said it's just best to just change. If we're going to go in and operate, we might as well go in and operate and change all of those bad veins. But they range from 85%, maybe 75, and then 175, 185. I think a couple 90, and the rest were 99% blockages. He survived. It's not cheap. He's going to spend about $25,000 USD altogether. But he survived, thank God. And I talked to him yesterday, and he's resting in intensive care for several days in Cebu. I don't remember the name of the hospital. I'll have to ask him. But anyway, it just was a shame that he had to go through this, because he was doing just fine the day before. I've seen him several days before, and the day before he had a heart attack, and he didn't even know there was anything wrong. He didn't feel anything until the morning. He woke up at 4 a.m. and started having chest pains. So our hearts and hopes go back out to Nick, and from Nick's Computer Fix, and we're wishing him well and get better. Okay. Children's Christmas School Computer Classroom is on this coming Monday. We'll be setting up and getting the kids online to learn, and we're going to get that going on Monday. I had a gentleman named Don who will be there, who was a great benefactor at the last minute, because I was going to be putting it off until next year because there was not enough funds to purchase everything we needed. Don came through and he covered the last couple items that we needed, and so I quick set it up for the school. They already got the TV delivered and they got the security cabinet delivered. So we're going to do electrical and set up all of the tablets. Carolyn, my wife, is busy putting programs and apps on 24 tablets and a laptop for the teacher. All right. DJ, I think he had mental issues. I'm guessing manic. Who are we exactly talking about? Are we talking about my last video? Most likely. Yeah, quadruple bypass. I'm glad to hear he's made it. Yep, that's about as serious as you can get. I thought so. He was pretty scared and nervous. I wanted to go up there and see him. There's nothing I can do for him, but I wanted to go up there and see him. But I was able to talk to him several times before his surgery and encourage him to keep a positive attitude. Good morning, Delta. Nick seems to be doing okay. If he makes it through the first 36, 72 hours, he'll be fine. And so far, he's made it through the first 24. Mr. Drippy, yes, that's who I'm pretty DJ. I'm pretty sure that DJ's Sweet Daddy is referring to, but I'm not sure. Though he says Dan Webb, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that was a very interesting interview. So I was not sure if I should put that up or not. If you haven't seen the video, it's pretty hilarious because the guy is so open about his personal situation. And it's kind of gross, actually. I wasn't sure after, because I don't know ahead of time. I don't like to pre-screen much because I want it to be new to me, and I want to have a first impression. And I like to. You could tell what it's staged. These are not staged. Okay, I have the guys come on. I say, okay, what's your name? And just remind me who's your girlfriend or your wife, and where you're from. I says, and your age. So it's like just some basic. I said, but other than that, they start telling me their stories. I says, no, don't tell me your story. You're going to tell it on video. So that's basically what happened. Wait, I got to put the air on. I got all these lights on. I don't have air conditioning. Let's put that on. We're good. All right. So he was quite the character. He pretty much told it the way it is, and he held nothing back, which maybe he should have. It was a little too much information. If you haven't seen this video, you've got to watch it. Okay, it's hilarious. So I put it up there, but I put a disclaimer in there, and I couldn't help but make some quibs while he was talking, which went right over his head, okay? Wasn't the best choice or certain things like you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But I didn't mean to insult him too much. Yes, I'm going to ask him to bring Judy on, Charlie. I think that would even be funnier. Okay, so anyway, let's see. I jumped a few. So Alexander, he is your channel, what you were to Old Dog's channel. the wild out-of-pocket guy everyone wants to hear more of. Well, he was very honest, okay, of what happened. He was a player, and he's been played, and I don't think he's learned. Rigo from New York. Hi, from Queens, New York. Sorry about Nick. How is Rick? Rick is doing just fine. I see him every once in a while. He is in a wheelchair, but he's hanging in there. Yeah, he has a cane and wheelchair. He actually had a stroke. He blacked out. He had a stroke actually, pretty serious one, and so yeah, I'll have Judy on. I'll have to get a hold of him. We'll have to bring Judy in here. I'm not sure if I should bring Judy by herself because she's a little wacko. I've met her once, real short, and she drinks a lot and she's a little wild. She might literally take her. She doesn't care who sees her body. She doesn't wear much clothes to cover any of her body up, and she doesn't wear a bra, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't wear anything underneath her skirt. She's just lets it all hang out there, and I'm afraid I'll definitely get in trouble with YouTube if she starts doing nudity on my show. I definitely would have to block it out. Gronk AI. Okay, I'm starting at the top at 1.5 times. It tells me how to use a VPN to skirt around copyright laws. It's legit, but you need to massage it more than ChatGPT. Well, what we talked about earlier is I'm having problems with ChatGPT, and that's what Alex is telling me to get Gronk. If you don't mind, I'm gonna put this in my notes. Actually, my notes is up here. I can possibly just type my notes right here. As long as I don't fuck anything up. Maybe I'll fuck it up. Never mind. Let me put it on my phone. Hold with me, guys. Gronk. So what I was talking about was I'm having problems with ChatGPT, even though I pay for... where was that? Gronk. I got it. Even though I pay for ChatGPT, it seems to have, it must be an American AI, and it gives me a whole lot of, well, that's not approved, or maybe you shouldn't do that, or I can't give you answers to that question because, like if you ask about medical, political, it won't answer you. So it's pretty screwed up. How many people are you coming to your house Christmas Eve? Will you film it or have someone do it, make a video? I'm going to have Paul. Hopefully Paul will film. I know Baby May will. I'm not going to film, I don't think. I'm going to be too busy to film. How many people? We're expecting over 100. It's going to be mostly outside. I ordered tables, tents, 2 lechons, 5 turkeys, and I think it's called ragos for platters of food. I'm going to figure 100, but I'm going to probably have enough food for 150. It's the only problem I'm going to have, other than room, is I got to move all my bikes away. I got to move my e-carts off. The problem I'm going to have actually is parking. I have no parking, and I haven't figured out how to solve that problem yet. And it's getting down to, 2 weeks from Christmas? Not even. Is it Grok or Kronk? Well, you better tell me what it is, Alex. But I'll look both of them up. Okay. What do we got? I'm 8 minutes behind, 1.5 times, but I read that just fine. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's Grok. All right, I will correct my notes. Grok. Okay. All right, I got it. Yeah, because ChatGPT it's giving me multiple answers. It's giving me a long answer, like with information I don't need. I just want a simple answer. It's a yes or it's a no, or do this or do that. But it's covering its ass. That's what it's doing. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of it giving me information I don't need. Rodney, Australia has just banned 16-year-olds and younger from social media platforms like TikTok and Facebook. How are they going to enforce that? That's my thoughts. And that only makes it more popular. When they don't want you on, just like drugs, if they outlaw them, more people use it. I mean, it's human nature. So all they did was, if they didn't want TikTok, they should have just taken it down, which isn't a free democratic way. Free speech and information. I don't see how they could ban 16-year-olds. It's not going to happen. 16 years and younger, it's not going to happen. All they did is advertise it and made it more popular. It was pretty stupid. I bet that's going to blow up in their face. Just curious, how much was your Christmas party budget for all that? Dan, I kept putting money out. So I hired a DJ. He was $15,000. I hired tables, chairs, 100 chairs, about 10 tables, buffet tables, and canopies. That was around, I think, $8,000 or $8,800. And bought the turkeys. They're $3,000 a piece. So that's $15,000. Bought the lechons. Already paid for that. $30,000. You're gonna have to add this up because I'm not doing it. And we still need to go to Ragos, and I don't know how much Ragos we, but save another $5,000 for food. So I guess everybody's going Gronk or Grok was pretty good. So I don't know what tight end means. North 50. So anyway, so let's see. What was the total? I don't know. And these are all in pesos. So 30, 45, 50, 60, 60. It's just called 69. Is that everything? I doubt it. I bought a Christmas Santa hats. Another 5. Let's go 74. It's starting to add up. I really rather not know. Shit. I got at least 5 more in food, maybe 10. So 84,000 in pesos. And and Carolyn's bought gifts for the kids at High Top or something like that, a bunch. And I don't know how much she spent, but we're gonna say another 5. So say 90,000. It's gonna be 100,000 pesos. Let's just face it. Okay, 100,000 divided by 59 roughly. So shit, too much money. Anyway, that's your answer. I don't watch football. No, I don't watch football. Here's a title. I asked people to give me a title for the video I just put up with Tatum. Cosmo Kramer moved to Dumagetti. Yeah, I had another one. Somebody said it was pretty funny. I don't remember what it is. I didn't write it down, or did I? It said something like something about Judy. What was it? I don't know where I put it. Shoot, sorry. I saved it, but I don't know where I saved it. That's the problem with saving too many notes. But it had something about Judy, and it was pretty funny, actually. No, we don't watch football, so everybody's going to have to be, who wants to help me at we're meeting at 8:30 Monday morning to go over to the school. Danny Dubois is going to bring all the tablets. He'll pick everything up from my place. Tablets, paper, ink, laser printer, laptop, all kinds of electrical wiring, tools, and everything. I'll have him pick up to me Sunday evening, and so he'll be at the school, and then we'll all caravan over from Octagon Restaurant, which is about a mile and a half from the school. School's a little hard to find. It's a province school. It's in Bakong and has 700 students. This is the same school that we built bathrooms for about 4 or 5 months ago. So it ought to be. It's a very nice school. They're very needy. They're very much in need of upgrading. So anyway, let's see. Weight loss. I'm down 52 pounds. It's slowed down a lot. I'm only losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. Maybe really like 1 pound a week. Now, it might be because I started to eat some carbs, maybe too much. I started going out a lot and meeting with people. When I go out, I can't always eat no carb. And Carolyn's been cooking vegetables for me, but she doesn't realize that certain vegetables, root vegetables, are full of carbs. So she doesn't cook potatoes, but she cooks root vegetables white. They're white. They taste like a potato, but they're not a potato. Don't ask me what the hell it is. I don't know. But it definitely has carbs, I'm sure, because it tastes like a potato. Something that they grow here in the ground. They're long, tubular-looking potatoes, but they're like a foot long or longer. And they skin them, and then they chop them up and put them in the soup. And I'm pretty sure, like the onions, the celery, the spinach. They use a lot of green plants in her soups. I don't know what the hell they are. Local stuff. And all of that stuff, all the green stuff is fine. It's the white stuff you got to watch out for, the white vegetables. So anyway, and she has carrots in there too, which turns to sugar. She always has carrots as well. So I think between her soups, eating her soups, and going out to eat, I've slowed down my weight loss. That's life in the big city. All right, where are we at? 136. Hit the like button, guys. Anybody have any other questions about what's going on? I'm looking at my notes. Let's see. What's new else? So we talked about Nick, and we talked about the Christmas, and we talked about Philippines Made Simple. That ebook is still out there. You could see it pinned at the top if you need it. I'm sure everybody's gotten one by now. And motorbikes. So I've been buying. I ran out of ADVs, and I bought two yesterday, two ADVs, and I ran out of clicks, so I bought two more of those. And then I had to order top boxes and everything for them. And you have to get a bracket and a top box. And so it takes a bit of doing to get the bikes up to par. And I ran out of phone holders, so I ordered 6 more of those because I like a particular phone holder. So nobody said, everybody see me okay? Everybody hears me okay? Just trying to make sure. All right, let's close that out. Let's see, stream health. Let's check the stream health. And I made a lot of changes to OBS to have better video and better sound according to OBS. According to ChatGPT, I took pictures of my settings, and it had me do a lot of changes this morning. So that had me worried a little bit whether I should make those changes and trust chat or not. So I made the changes and I applied them. But hopefully it all works. Video and sound is excellent. Okay, thanks, Delta. I have a lot of guys that want ADVs all of a sudden, so I was short ADVs. So I picked up 2 more, and I'm having my worker today. He's working today. He's going out, and I don't buy them new. I buy them slightly used. 3,000 kilometers or less is preferred, but sometimes under 5 if they have paperwork that proves that they did an oil change and a gear oil change at least once. You're supposed to do it in the first 500 kilometers, and then you do it again at 1,500. And when you I buy repo bikes from a dealership in town, and you never know exactly what you're going to get. But the good part is it's a lot cheaper. It's probably 20% less than brand new, and it still comes with 3 years registration, and it still comes with 3-year warranty, liability warranty, and you save 20%. Okay, the bad part is you don't know if they changed oil or not, okay, or gear oil. Usually not if it was previously a Filipino owner. If it was an American owner, I have no problem with it. But when they repo, it's 99% of the time it's going to be, they're not going to repo from a foreigner. They're going to repo from a local. And they don't do oil. They just don't take care of their bikes. And so I don't like bikes that are scratched up. I won't take any bike that's scratched up or needs physical repair. But I have bought a bike that I had to take back, which has supposed to have under 400 kilometers on it, and the brake pads are worn out. And when we opened it up, the cover to check on the CVT, which is like a scooter transmission, the CVT was changed to an aftermarket. The belt was something that had 15,000 kilometers on it. The spark plug was old and dirty, needed to be replaced. And we realized that the bike, somebody stole all the parts off it, and then let them take it back. So they stole all the good parts off it. They probably changed the brake pads too and put it on their bike at home. So I had to take that bike back. That bike was, and odometer said 400, but obviously the parts in there were more than 400 kilometers. So I don't know if they switched the parts or they put probably didn't, because it was a 2025. They probably didn't put 15,000 on it. I don't think they could. So we had to take that back, and they had to change everything to original new. And then and then once they changed original new, then I said, okay, I'll accept it. IT Park. If you're in the Philippines, all you have to do is send me an email. At the top pinned is my email address for peptides, and I can ship them to you. It's not a problem in the Philippines. Okay, who is Jelly Roll? You're going to have to say it. Your weekly live aligns with NFL Thursday Night Football. That's a bummer. Well, I don't do football. Okay, I see what the problem is. It's not the Monday. It's the Thursday night. Well, that sucks. Well, maybe I could do a Saturday morning. I can switch it to a Saturday morning, so it'll be a Friday evening. Maybe that'd be better. All of us is over 200 pounds over here, man. We're all fat. Jelly Roll could be anybody. It was me. I'm over 200 pounds. Are you able to share where you get your bikes? No, I have an exclusive with them, and I'm not willing to share it because I get first pick. And whatever I don't take, then so I'm not able to share. I apologize, but if I share, then I'll be competing with you for the bikes that I need. Thursday night sound effects. Oh my God, I'd have to hear what they are because I don't even know of them all. There's too damn many on this stupid machine. Let me see. Let me put on my headphones. Let's see, where are sound effects? So sound effects are a voice disguise. So let's find sound effects. Voice disguise. Let me see what voice.
This is voice disguise. All right. Voice disguise. Another one is pitch up.
Okay, this is pitch up. Hello, everybody. Sound like Mickey Mouse. Then we have
Megaphone. Hello, this is Megaphone. Goldfinger on Megaphone.
This is monster. You know what? Monster and voice disguise. Here's voice disguise and monster sound the same, if you ask me. Alright.
Large robot. Okay, gives me a titty sound. Large robot. Yeah, we have a small robot. Oh my God. And the others are censoring and ducking. So we're gonna go back to
No disguise. How about that? How about no disguise? I don't typically do the voiceovers. They're just bizarre. Tech toys, yeah, I love toys, but they can get you in trouble too. I was just showing everybody my new toy, which is I don't know if you were on or not. It's my new setup is a Stream Deck, all right, and Stream Deck. I have a mini, which is 6 buttons. And it worked out so well because I could do all kinds of things with the mini. I could switch cameras, and I got the 15-button one. Just got it delivered yesterday. And I've got to hook that up because I could do a lot of video changes. You know, I don't need to do sound changes, obviously, but I could do a lot of video changes with the Stream Deck. And once I hook that up, I could put individual pictures on it. You could customize it. Different colors for different buttons, different pictures. There's 1,000 different things you could put on it. It's actually a digital screen. Let me see if I can. Offline. Okay, I can't touch that. If I touch that, I'm going to screw something up. I have a small Stream Deck, but the small Stream Deck is connected, and if I unplug it, I went immediately offline. So we're not going to do that. Grok AI. Okay. You like the monster one. Looking for peptides in the States. I know you suggested having a friend in the Philippines pick it up and mail it. Could you batch mail once a week so you're to your son or someone and he could mail it out? No. My son is autistic. He wouldn't understand about receiving mail or sending mail out. My other son is busy. He's high-tech busy. He has a very busy life, and him and I don't talk that much anyway because he doesn't agree on my choices in politics. I make fun of liberals. I'll be very honest. I make fun of Democrats, which I call demon rats. Demon rats and liberals are ruining this country. So he doesn't like that because I post stuff on Facebook and he watches it. So, and he's a liberal. I love him. I'll always love him, but yeah, I can't deal with him. And he always brings, and he literally won't talk to me because, I said, let's just not talk politics. Why should it separate family? That's crazy. You only have one father, and but he's so adamant about it because of his lifestyle. And I don't agree with his lifestyle, and I'm not going to knock him down. But he doesn't. He's born a boy, but I can't call him son. He changed his name to something which is unpronounceable. I know. Okay, I get it. Goldfinger. He says, "Hey, you changed your name to Goldfinger." I says, "Yeah, but I legally changed it to Goldfinger. That's my legal name. You just want to be called something else. That's not your name. You were born Dean, and you were born a boy, and that's what you'll always be to me. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to change this because you want me to change, and you want others to change what they refer to you as, non-binary." Whatever, that's not what I'm going to do. So he won't talk to me. Pain reliever that Wayne gave you. No, I only used it that one day. It didn't work for you. It actually worked very well for me. I'm sorry you bought it and it didn't work for you. It worked on my back very well. But what I ended up doing was using from Amazon DMSO with aloe vera. And that works very good, actually. The only thing is it feels a little warm for the first 15 minutes because it does go into your skin. It feels a little warm. But actually, the warming relieves the pain. And it wasn't very expensive, about $25-30 a container. And that container will last a long time. You use very little of it. And I've been using it on my ankle, too, because I hurt my ankle in the bike accident. So the DMSO on Amazon with aloe vera worked excellent, and it's a lot cheaper. So, no, I'm not using that from Wayne. Though Wayne, I see him, he's still a good friend. Grokkopedia. Is that a different one? Why is there a grok and a Grokkopedia? All right, let me add that. I don't understand why there would be two. Grokkopedia. I'm adding it to my list, guys. Sorry. Grokkopedia. All right, I'll check it out. Yeah, I need something better than chat. Chat's just old school. Let's see. Transgenders are coming around. Just heard a really based one on the whatever. Just heard a rally or really based one on whatever podcast. There's hope your son might come back around. Yeah, well, I don't know. He likes dressing as a female. And he's into a lot of other strange things. I'm just not into. It's not my thing. He calls her a wife, but they never got married. But they've been together for almost 15 years, and she supports him. He feels like he's a boy in a girl's body. I don't know why he would feel that way. I don't know. I thought it was a phase he was going through, but what can I say? Your kids. You'll always love your kids no matter what, right? As you get older, I'd love to talk to him. He sends me a message and said that he got hurt, unfortunately, in the military. He was on base for 17, 18 years he was going to go for a 20-year pension from the military. And after 18 years, he posted some of him wearing female clothes, carrying a purse, long hair, with makeup, in a dress. And he posted it on his Facebook. That was a big mistake. He should have known better. He's a smart kid, but that was a stupid move. And so people that followed him on base caught that, and he got beat up. My understanding is he got beat up on base. So he quit, and he refused to go back on base. He quit. 18 years, and he quit 2 years before his, pension for life. I said to him, I can understand, that you should probably take them, you should probably sue for your full 20 years because it happened on base, and it has to do with, you're going to have to prove that it happened. Of course, I don't know if they have cameras or what, but you should have reported it, and you should have filed charges, and you should have got an attorney. I said, but you can still do 2 years in another environment, another military credit environment, because he was a computer whiz, and he ended up offering his services to people that were losing their benefits. Oh, I don't remember which benefits, but benefits that that Trump has decided to start pulling everybody's benefits that they're getting. He started helping out in a place that has nothing to do with military, nothing to do with computers, and that's his whole. He spent his whole life learning computers. He went to Microsoft, to everything. I don't know. He'll come around maybe. Hopefully before I die. Haven't you also been with a woman for over 15 years and aren't married? No. Carolyn and I have been together for not quite, almost 3 years. In another 2 months, it'll be 3 years. And I was married to a woman for 28 years before that, it's a long story. There's a video on it, but she tried to take my life and get my money. It's okay for him to be with a girl and not be married. I don't really hold that against him. I just don't understand his logic in a lot of things. Okay, for example, for not talking to his dad, and just keep social things, personal social things out of the picture. But he doesn't want me to call him son. He gets upset, and I kind of forget all the time, and I call him son. And then he changed his name, and he wants me to call him by some fucked up name. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, he could find a federal job that's compatible with his disability, and he'd need an additional 2 years to collect. Yes, I know that. Thank you, Eastern Dreams. That's what I suggested to him, and he said he'd like to talk to me, and he sent this 4 months ago, after not talking to me for at least 6 months after Trump became president, that he said his wife, so to speak, sent me a message and cussed at me for being a Trump supporter, and I caused all this, and it's my fault. And I'm like, caused what? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know he got beat up until he sent me a message 4 months later and says, oh, I got over being beat up. I says, wow, really? I didn't know that happened. Nobody told me, other than your wife cursed at me and never explained why it's my fault. It's like it was just obviously I don't like his girlfriend wife. She's a bitch. Total bitch. She's her and her mother. I hope you hear this, son, because you need to leave that woman. Anyway, that's enough personal shit. But yeah, he needs to get a federal job and get his pension with full, and he should probably he could even get disability. I told him that. He can get disability based on that if he has PTSD, from that. But can you suggest a good hotel to get you? Oh, we'll be in the country. Okay, well, all that information is in the ebook. So at the very top, pinned, send in a request to my email address for a free ebook, and in there I have hotels and ratings. It depends on what you want. I can't just say this hotel or that hotel. It kind of depends whether you want to be downtown or outside, what your budget is. Do you want a pool? Do you want it with a restaurant? You want airport pickup? There's too many things. So you're going to have to do your homework a little bit. I can't just suggest hotel. I don't know. There's hotels for $100 a night. There's hotels for $20. There's hotels that are on the beach. There's hotels that are in town, center of town, so you can walk to most everything. And there's hotels out of town, Valencia, Darwin. Some are on the beach in Darwin because there's really no beach in Dumaguete. It's just a walkway. They took away all the beach. They built a walkway along the ocean water with a breakwater, cement breakwater. So there's no beach too much to go to unless you go to North Point. So yeah, I can't answer that. The country is politically divided. Hell yeah, it is. It'll never heal until we stop this nonsense. Well, unfortunately, I don't know. It's going to take a long time. People still hate Trump. He makes a lot of changes. People don't like change. People like things to stay the same. But if they stay the same, I don't think they understand. They realize that people have been working harder and getting less back, and politicians were getting rich off of the citizens, and we were pawns in a game, in a political game. That's my view. That's the way I feel. Countries and everything in the middle. It's always swung right or left, back and forth, and it gets getting wider. Yeah, that's true, Alex. Do you win the fill? Is the ebook exclusive to Dumaguete? No. I've been thinking of looking, but been lazy lately. Well, get the ebook. It's not exclusive. It has information on Dumaguete, but there's a lot of information in there that covers all of Philippines. That's why it's called The Philippines Made Simple. Philippines Made Simple is covered most of all of Philippines because the information was mostly all Philippines. It was originally Dumaguete for Dummies, but Dumaguete for Dummies is a trademark name. Anything for Dummies is trademark. And though they probably wouldn't bother me here in the Philippines, the other problem was it only covered Dumaguete. And a lot of people aren't just coming to Dumaguete, so I expanded it to all of the Philippines. So there's information there that covers a lot, including your visas, what you should bring, airlines, flights, traveling between islands, dealing with the ladies. There's a lot of information. It covers all of the Philippines. You've never heard? I'm sure you have. Okay, Alex, it's got to be a joke. But the ebook is Philippines Made Simple, and you can get one for free. You just have to send me an email, and it's pinned at the top. It's goldfingerthegoldman3@gmail.com. And if you want peptide information, earlier I think someone asked me about peptide information. It's better if I ship to somebody in the Philippines and then they ship to you, because I don't want to be shipping large quantities or consistent, like you said, batch shipping. No, they get freaked out here when you batch ship. They don't know what a peptide is. They see bottles of medicine or liquids and they freak out because they think it's medications. So the bottom line is I only send to Philippines. I don't send out of the country because I know it's going to be a flag. So I can ship to somebody locally here, and they can ship to you by FedEx, DHL, but I don't want to start shipping to the U.S. They are allowed in the U.S. because it's not a medicine, it's not a drug. So I had, in the beginning, shipped a couple people, but they wanted larger orders, and I says, I'm not going to do that because that's obviously for resale, and that may be a violation if you're reselling it to people. And when you start ordering 10 to 20 bottles, they're either going to confiscate it, or they're going to send someone to talk to me. I don't need that problem, and you're not going to get the product. So at that point, I decided sending it to the U.S. is probably just not a good idea at this time. But there are plenty of people here that I have sent to in the Philippines that have gone home and taken bottles with them to friends or family, or shipped them ahead so they'd have some peptides in the U.S. when they go back to the U.S. So they don't bother you. Especially there's a new law in the airports now in the U.S. That TSI cannot review, ask questions, touch, handle, look at, photograph, or anything on anybody 65 and older when it comes to medications. And you could have the medications in a bag mixed up. There's still a 3-ounce maximum amount of liquid, but peptides are freeze-dried, so they're not liquid. And they cannot examine them or anything if you're 65 and older. As well as you just put them in your carry-on, and they'll x-ray it, but they're not going to do anything unless they see more than 3 ounces of liquid. And you could also put them in the refrigerator of an airplane, and you could put them in a container, put your name on it, and just tell them that you need to have your medication refrigerated. You don't even have to tell them what it is. Though I think it was designed for insulin, but you don't even have to tell them what it is. You just put your name on it, put it in a container. I suggest a thermos. Throw a couple ice cubes in there, and if it's already rehydrated, if you've already added the BAC water to the peptide and reconstituted it with liquid, then you need to keep it refrigerated. Otherwise, the peptides, the amino acids will diminish and it won't be as strong unless you keep it cool. So I suggest buying a small thermos, throwing a few ice cubes in there, throw your peptides in there. But you'll have to get the thermos through, and then and you're allowed to have a thermos on an airplane. All right. Anyway, let me go back. I retired over here. This is Will, I believe, 4596, because I've lost faith in the country, and government just wants to live the rest of my. Lost faith in the country and government. Just want to live the rest of my life in peace. Gotcha. That's fine. Don't watch YouTube. You shouldn't. You're just going to get aggravated. Don't watch YouTube and TikTok. They're just going to aggravate you. I'll tell you right now from experience. It gets annoying. I watch these things and these liberals piss me off. I'm running, per Alex again, I'm running low on tirzepatide, which is why I asked. It did wonders, went from almost 220 to 185. That's fantastic. Very good. How long did that take you? 3 months. Well, no, you said the pain went away. My knee back pain went away in 3 months. Excellent. So there are peptides to help you with back pain. They build cartilage, and they also rebuild your muscles and densify your muscles. There's peptides like KPV that help relieve inflammation in muscles or joints. There's peptides for just about everything, guys. I have a long list of peptides. I need to update it because I'm now up to about 30 peptides that I carry for different problems: prostate, hair growth, skin, GHKCU, wonderful for your skin. It'll keep you from skin, anything, your eyes, your everything. It'll keep you from getting cataracts, things like that. So you have to learn. You have to go online and start studying peptides and put in: is there a peptide for such and such, or or if you read about a certain peptide, I probably have it because I have a whole bunch. The more you let go, the more you're in peace. Well, yeah, you got to let go. A lot of people came here to get away from social, economics, financial problems in the U.S. Can't retire and afford anything worth a damn. A lot of guys come over here because, of course, they speak English here, and you could find if you're divorced or separated or you've lost your significant other, you could find a woman here. It doesn't have to be a 20 or 19-year-old. It could be a 30, 40-year-old girl, and there's no problem here. They don't see the age like they do in the U.S. Age does not matter here. And you'll find a woman, and they like to take care of people. It's just in their nature here to help others. Some people said to me, well, I'm handicapped. Can I come over here and will I have a problem finding someone to be with? I says, no, you actually have an advantage because they like female Filipinas. They like to help. This is why they use them as nurses in most of the hospitals all around the world. They're wonderful because they like helping people. They don't get angry. They don't get upset. And they're caregivers. They're wonderful caregivers. So as we get older, we need a caregiver. That's what it is. As far as tirzepatide, let's go back to that. Tirzepatide. Tirzepatide was the second phase after semaglutide. First was Ozempic, which is semaglutide. Then there was tirzepatide, and now there's retatrutide. So if you went on retatrutide, which is has a third amino acid in it, you'd actually be able to lose more, and you're going to plateau on tirzepatide. So if you can get, are you coming over here? It doesn't say. If you can get your hands on retatrutide, have a friend ship it to you, and you switch over, you'll be able to use less and still lose more, Alex. All right. Let's see. Do you need an ACR card to buy a motorbike or just a passport enough? You don't need anything to buy a motorbike. You need money. They don't care if you have a license or not. I think a child could buy a motorbike here. Okay, rules here are different. However, you can't drive it. So you don't need an ACR card to drive, but you do need a driver's license to drive. And it doesn't have to have a motorbike endorsement on it. You just need a driver's license. Now, that's in Dumaguete. In Cebu and Manila, bigger cities, they want an endorsement for motorbikes. But you do need a driver's license, and it could be a driver's license from any country. It doesn't have to be specific for the Philippines. You can't get your ACR card here until you've been here for 3 months, and then it takes another month to get it. And then once you have your ACR card in your hand and you have your visa with 6 months or more on it, that before it expires, then you can get a local driver's license here. You do not need, still in Dumaguete, you do not need an endorsement for motorbikes, but you can get it and it doesn't cost any more. There's no testing. There's no written testing. There's no driving testing for a driver's license here. If you're a Filipina and you've never had a license, then they want you to go to school. But there's still, again, no testing. So once you go to the school, then you qualify as a Filipina. If you also did not have a license and you're a foreigner and you didn't bring a driver's license, only an ID, then you'll have to go to the school. But there's no schools for motorbike lessons, only schools for cars. And I don't know how much they are. I'm going to say 5,000 to 8,000 pesos roughly. And they're kind of a joke because you come in and you're supposed to spend so many hours and so many days in the school, and basically you spend a half an hour and you sign off and they send you home. I don't comment much on politics here, says Rigo from New York. But today is the day the cost the Republicans the midterms by not extending the ACA subsidy for Obamacare that really screws people. Yeah, well, Obamacare was a mess anyway. Obama and Obamacare was bullshit. So that's my opinion on it. And I don't want to go into politics either, but Obama was one of the worst presidents. He was already listed as the worst president we've ever had out of the 45 presidents we've had. He's the worst. Though I'm sure Biden's a close second, if not number one. Can I pay with a credit card? No. You can't pay anything with a credit card here. No, you can pay for a lot of things here, but what are we talking about? To pay for what? You can use a credit card here to some places, but not like restaurants or stores. But they'll charge you extra. I don't know what you mean by, are you talking about for peptides? No. If it's for peptides, no, you can't get credit card. With me, I don't use credit cards. I got to, per Rabid, I got to my goal weight on Retta, kind of bummed because I love using it for appetite suppression, and repetitive food on my mind. Yeah, it takes away your interest in food. You don't get the nagging. I want this or I want that. You don't even get like I want a sweet or I want a salty. You lose all interest in snacking. You just don't get. It doesn't even bother you when you're hungry. People said my face looks gaunt and wrinkly. Oh, well, exercise, stretching. I don't know how much more weight you have to lose, but if you start doing skin stretches and facial exercises and other things, you'll probably tighten up in time. Hello, Mike. How you doing? Okay. Hey is for horses. Hey, Hey is for Goldfinger. It's not possible to live here single if you have the financial means. Well, Will, you know, everybody thinks the girls only come to you for money, and it's not really that. But you have to have money in order to live properly here, okay? And what the girls want in the Philippines is a roof over the head and food on the table and some basic necessities, okay? And the problem is it's very difficult for a young Filipina, and there seems to be a lot more Filipinas than Filipinos, for a young Filipina to provide for herself because they're suppressed here. They don't make as much money, and they don't get as high up as a male counterpart who honestly does less and is probably not as smart. Filipinas here are educated better. I think they seem to be smarter than Filipinos. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And with that, they're not treated well by boyfriends or their husbands because they cheat, especially the young men. And we were all young ones. So they tend to go after older fellas that are foreigners because we may not think we're rich. I mean, we may only be living on, I don't know, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800 a month. But that's a lot more money than they're making or can make. Okay, so in comparison, we are rich. I mean, if you're even if you're under 2,000 pesos, they're not. I mean, $2,000 a month income from retirement or pensions or anything else. That's a lot more money than they're getting. Okay, they're not getting anything close to that. They're not even getting $1,000. Okay, dollars. There isn't a job a Filipino can get that'll even give them $1,000 a month. Pretty hard. They're going to have to be very well educated and work for several years and be in their 30s to 40s to ride up the scale to make something like that. Because that's nearly $60,000. It's pretty tough. They make about averages $500 or less unless they get very well educated, become a doctor, a nurse, very common. But people that work at stores, in sorry stores or markets or anything like that, cashiers, people that work at restaurants, and they're usually Filipinos. Okay, they're not going to be given a managerial job. They're not going to be a manager of a bank typically, unless they've had a lot of experience and a lot of education, and been at it for several years. At least working for 10 or 15 years in a banking environment, and they're not going to make typically 50,000 pesos a month. It's just not going to happen, and I think that's like $800, is it? Yeah, roughly. And they're not going to make 50,000 pesos a month. So technically, even the poorest Americans typically get in retirement $800 a month. Even on the lowest level, okay? And so we're rich in comparison. So it's not so much the financial, they just want the support. There is a school for bike lessons in Dumaguete. Oh, really? I asked to do the course and pay and asked why you drove up on a bike. I just want the mark on my license. Oh, I could have got you that on your license there's a fixer here for 3,000 pesos. You should have hit me up. It's actually in the ebook. She can get you anything. She can get you a truck driving license for 3,000 pesos if you want it. It's probably cost you more than 3,000 for the school. I didn't even know there was I checked around. I couldn't find one for somebody. I wanted one for Carolyn, actually. Carolyn, I wanted to send her to school. She couldn't ride a bike. Still can't. How are things in Cebu after the earthquake and flooding? Have things been cleaned up pretty well? I don't know. You'll have to check with the guys that live in Cebu, and there's several vloggers in Cebu that can give you that information. I honestly don't know, since I don't travel. Okay, so Rego Park, New York. You are going to have so much food. Every Filipino is going to bring a cake or something that they made. I assume you mean at the party. Probably I'll have a lot of desserts, but it is a Filipino way. They probably will bring something. But it's not typically a potluck. I'm providing everything, but I don't think I'll have to worry about desserts. Goldfinger, no, I'm not going to the Philippines, and I don't know anyone in the Philippines. I've bought direct in the States, but it's expensive. I bet it is. From a company, and they don't have a full stock of everything. That's the problem with the States, Alex. Get in touch with me, and I'll find somebody that might want to ship to you for, if they buy it from me. I'm going to tell you, I have a price list for the U.S. It's 50% more. It's still way cheaper than you can get in the U.S., but I charge 50% more if I have to arrange to have someone ship to you. And it costs at least $50 in shipping costs. But when you add it all up, it's still cheaper than what you can get in the U.S. itself. Smart Biz. Good morning. I'm checking in from Dubai. Hello. Hello, Dubai. So, just hit me up and we'll see if we can find somebody that's willing to ship to you here. Maybe they'll do it for a couple thousand pesos. I don't know. Yes, I sell peptides. You live in Bohol. That's fine. You go to the top pinned is my email address for peptides. It's Goldfinger Biotech at gmail.com. Goldfinger Biotech. And I can send you a price list. And yes, I sell them. I buy large quantities. There's now like 48 people I supply to, and it takes up a lot of time because a lot of them, I think 38 to 40 people are here in Dumaguete. One person tells another because everybody's losing weight. And it kind of took off in the last 3 months. So I started buying from China and Russia in very large quantities. That's allowed here. Peptides is not considered a medicine or a drug, and they're allowed. They sell them. They sell peptides on Facebook here, and they sell them on Lazada, which is the Philippine equivalent to Amazon. They sell them on Shopee, same thing. So Lazada, Shopee, Temu, they sell, but they're very high priced. I don't charge those kind of prices. Yes, I do sell it. I'm open about selling it. So you can hit me up if you want peptides. Just go to the top pinned is Goldfinger Biotech at gmail.com. Yes, they are. That's another problem. So I have to go get a license for this soon. It's taking over. I don't have time for scooters anymore, and it's been a problem. So I'm looking at my scooters now. I only have 3 out of about 20 scooters out there. The scooters really got busy all of a sudden. I don't know why. I guess maybe because the rains finally left. And all of a sudden, I don't have enough scooters for everybody. But the problem is scooters take a lot more time. They do make money. I started for Carolyn. It's actually her business. She has the license for the scooter rentals. It's Easy Rider Rentals. And she carries the license. And she does the paperwork on it. And she does, a lot of times she'll do the write-up and everything else. I just talk to guys about it because they want to talk to somebody American, and that's why we have quite a business on it. But it's a lot of hands-on time. I have people that constantly have little problems where they may have a flat tire or they lost the keys or the bikes need to have oil changes, gear oil changes, maintenance, or they get into an accident and now they've scratched up the bike. Hopefully they didn't get hurt. Scratching the bike's no big deal. It's pretty cheap and inexpensive to repair surface damage, but I do charge them and replace the panels. But it's just a lot more time because I have to meet with them to rent it. I don't do dailies. I only do a week or month. Forget dailies. I don't have time for daily in and out on a daily. But I'll never be able to leave the house. So anyway, I told Carolyn that she still wanted to keep it. Does she want to run it? And she said yes. All right. Well, now she's going to have to run it full time because I may get her involved with peptides. So far, she's got a full day every day because she's currently going through 24 laptops and 24 tablets and a laptop, programming them for the school because we're delivering it in 3 days. Monday. This is right now Friday. So in 3 days, we're providing the tablets, laptop, and everything to school. So I got to get on it too. I need some electrical and some cords, but everything's almost ready. Anyway, so she's busy charging all the tablets so we can set them up, and putting in apps for learning for grades 1 through 6, and making sure everyone's working properly. Okay, so Alex says, I just got back from Japan, South Korea, China, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Wow, that's a wild trip. The only place women would look at me was in Manila. Yeah, I bet. On a flight layover. I don't think most of Asia likes white. I don't know so much that they don't like white. They just don't. They don't look at older. Maybe you're older. I don't know what your age is. But I'm pretty sure China would be interested. Problem is you can't communicate. So in most of those countries, not a whole lot of English is spoken. And so unless you spend some time there, like if you only spend a week or two, you're not going to be able to learn the language, and you're not going to be able to nobody's going to, they're going to know you're traveling. So coming in, gone tomorrow. So they're not going to want to, build any kind of relationship because they know you're leaving. So, but you need to spend some time. But here you can converse. You can get their phone number. You can get their, you can chat with them even when you go back to the U.S. and build a relationship. Have I scheduled a Darwin trip episode with the holidays and scooter business? A scheduled a Darwin trip. Well, I was supposed to go to Critter Republic, Justin Carmack. We tried 3 weekends in a row to get away. Never happened. We got too busy. I was going to go with Carolyn, and we're just going to spend one night, 2 days there, and get away. So, no, it didn't happen. It may happen next year. It's not happening now because we have way too much going on right now. Hello, Raven from Manila. Yeah, no, that's okay. It wouldn't be someone I would hire, to say the least. Carolyn could handle the scooters, I think, but she's overwhelmed right now with tablets, computer programming. And then the other thing is I've asked her to make PDFs and create put everything in a file and send it to me so that I can forward it to people on what they're for, how to use them, how to reconstitute them, and everything else. So PDFs are being made. We have 35 peptides, so it's a lot of work. So I'm making up the information. She's putting it in Word and PDF form, then putting it in a downloadable file, and she has to send it to me. And then I also need hard copies printed of each one. So when people come over to my house, I can hand it to them. It's a lot. There's a lot of work. MV Driving School, JP, on JP Teves Street. I'm going to take a picture of this. I assume that's for motorbikes. So let me just take a picture of this. Sorry, I hit the mic. Camera. So I don't have to write it down now. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll add that to the ebook. Thank you, Dan, because I couldn't find one that would teach motorbikes, just cars. Japan, South Korea, Singapore are first world countries. You actually have to try to meet them. Most are financially independent. Yeah, they're going to be similar to the U.S. I don't know if they're going to be as standoffish, but you're not Chinese. You're not Korean. You're not Asian. So basically, you can't speak the language. You don't know the customs. It's going to be tough. Yeah, Tatum was something else, wasn't he? Cull Smash. He was a character. We're going to bring Judy on. I have to get a hold of him. I don't have time until next week. But my efforts this weekend is to get everything ready for the computer classroom setup. Paul's going to record that, and I'm sure Baby May will do. And Alex Kush is also a YouTuber. I've asked Alex to come, invited him. I invited Mike, and Bud Brown, I believe, is coming too, and they may record. I do exclusives specifically with Paul. He's my go-to guy. when it comes to anything that's events I do. So I'll give him the exclusive, but I don't stop anybody when they want to record. They can. I just can't. I can't give them an exclusive. That's Paul got me started, so I appreciate Paul. Did you ever decide on a title for the video? I had one. Darn it! I'd have to come out of here and find it. I had one from a guy that was pretty funny, and it talked about Judy. So I'll find one, and I'll see if I'm going to add that and say, hey, we found the title. I'll have that for next week. Sorry. For the party, give Danny a huge key ring and ask him to be the traffic director outside. That would be a funny video. I was thinking about hiring a valet service, and they take the bikes over to the mall. I'm not too far from the mall, and to have people park their cars at the mall and then take them back and forth. And I have 2 electric carts that could go back and forth on the street for that. But then you get in the problem where what happens if there's an accident or somebody has an emergency, they have to get their vehicle or something like that. And am I responsible? Am I making myself responsible for these people' safety? So I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of good people here. There's a lot of I call them real expats. They're really great people here. I gotta drink some coffee. Yeah, I'm not having Judy in the studio, unless at least Tatum's here to control her. I've met her once a long time ago. She's a bit over the top, wild. She's a let anything go, everything go. She doesn't care what happens. I would be afraid she'd strip here in the studio, and I'm going to be in trouble with Carolyn. She's a bear at all. Word wise, she's typically. I was sure she was on drugs the way she acted. So I don't know. I may have to leave the door open so I can make a run for it. I don't know about Judy. Handful. Yeah. All right. We'll see. Yeah. I don't want to catch anything. That's true, Alex. Paul says, hey, looking forward to big party on December 24th at your place. Yes, sir. I think of bringing a dessert, and you could ask the school down. No, we got too many. School down the street for extra parking. Get a Filipino guy as parking attendant. Yeah, I thought about that, but it's right now is their Christmas time also at the school. Let's see. Now, the school might actually be closed for Christmas during that time, but I'd have to get permission. And of course, the school is going to be concerned about liability too, parking cars on their property, and they probably got to lock up the place during Christmas. They usually have a security guard and lock the schools down. So I haven't decided. I probably won't have anything at all. Everybody's going to be on their own. I would suggest people come in pedicabs, and we'll have a couple. I know 3 guys that have tuk-tuks, and just use private service to let people come and go and park their cars either on the street or at Robinson's, or leave it at home. Because there's definitely not going to be enough. There'll be no parking on my property. It'll all be tables, chairs, and canopies. So, and we're expecting over 100 people, so it's going to be pretty big. But yeah, bring a dessert. Love to have you come, Paul. So I don't know what to do about parking. Just park on the street like everyone else. There's just not enough room. I'm sure some people park on the street. There's not going to be enough for everybody. Did he buy the cart for you? No. I didn't expect him to come back and buy it. He did the same thing last time. He disappeared. He never came back. We're talking about Tatum here. He told me after we finished, okay, I'm going to go out and get some money. I'll be right back. I asked him to leave a deposit, and he never did. So I pretty much knew he wasn't coming back. Haven't heard from him. How many guests? I have seating for 100. I have tables for 100. I have food for probably 150 to 175 people. I expect there to be at least 100. maybe not all staying because it is on Christmas Day, the 24th. So, but it's going to be hard to count because they'll be coming and going. We're starting at a little after 4, maybe like 4:35 in the evening, and we'll go to an acceptable hour. I'll invite all my neighbors as well so that we can have it go as late as possible. But they start to get in trouble if it goes past 10 p.m. here. So we might go to 11 or 12, and that's about it. I don't drink. It's bring your own booze. I'm not setting up a bar. I don't like drunks, so planning on 100, but prepping for 150 in food. The last stream you did with the guy was funny. The podcast was off the rails. Goodness, he just telling you everything. Yeah, that's Tatum. We've been talking about him. Everybody's been sending me messages about Tatum and Judy. There was viewer discretion advised right in the beginning. The first 15 seconds, there was a CYA on my part. Yeah. Tatum, I don't even know if he knows about the party. I don't think he's going to watch this video. I don't think he watches any of the videos. He doesn't seem to, I don't know. He's just, I don't know. He's also a free spirit, I guess. Holy moly, that's huge. Yeah. We have a DJ coming with a full setup of lights and I think about a 10-foot square screen for videos, and there'll be a guy with a camera and karaoke, prizes. It is huge. And we were talking earlier, and someone asked me how much is, and when I got to 90,000 pesos, and I figured, well, there's probably another 10,000 yet to spend. I just said, well, yeah, it's a little bit more money than I expected, but luckily everything is paid for except for the turkeys and Rago's food. The 2 lechons are paid for, 2 full pigs are paid for, the DJ's paid for, the tables and chairs are paid for. We have prizes for the kids. I have Christmas hats for adults and children, Santa hats. So most of it's paid for. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy, but it'll be fun. I always wonder why someone retracts a message. So you have to tell me, Mara, why did you retract the message? Earlier, someone retracted a message too, and I always wonder, why was a message be retracted? What were they going to say that they don't want to say? Who retracted a message? Oh, Alexander Sims retracted a message. I'm always curious, why did somebody retract it? They thought better of it, what they were saying? I don't know. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, 10:22. I usually wind up around 10:30, wind it up. So coming in March, well, this is our first annual. We'll have another one, Mar. As I know Paul, I'm sure several people videotape it. Bud's invited, Mike's invited, though Mike, I understand, is in the U.S. I invited several YouTubers, Alex, Paul, of course. Baby May records everything. As a healthcare professional in the USA, says Rick, I would highly recommend Bum Run Grad International Hospital for the healthcare on that side of the world. It's on par with the USA. Where is that? Because I found the best hospitals, honestly, is in Thailand. Okay, I got it. Thanks for clarifying that, Mar. I feel like Tatum's dream job is to be the guy at the carnival who you try to dunk in the tank. He would be a good one because he just says everything off the cuff. He'd be a good one to watch. You'd want to hate him. Have you always had? I always lived in Dumaguete? Yes. Or was there other parts of the Philippines you lived in? No. I've been here. I landed here in January of 2023, and I stayed here. I've been visited. I visited Cebu. I visited Bohol. I visited Siquijor Island. I came into Manila, but I never left the airport. And then I went to Cebu and spent one day when I first got here. One night, I think, 1 or 2 nights. I think it was just one night in a Cebu hotel, and then took the plane from Cebu. Never even got off of Mactan Island, which is not really Cebu. It's just an island off of Cebu. So, yes, a Christmas party. We're having a Christmas party here, big time. So I like doing Eddie, and I feel comfortable. I traveled my whole life, and always traveled. My dad's business that I worked for, and then my business I worked for, was always traveling. I don't really like traveling too much. I can't relax. I can't just watch the waves go in and out, or the tree or sit in a hammock and and listen for the wind and watch the waves and watch the wind blow through the leaves. It's just not me. I can't do that. I'm hyper. Bumrungrad, I'm not saying it right. Bumrungrad International Hospital is in Bangkok. I kind of thought so because it sounded familiar. I don't have a lot of faith in the PI. No, seriously, but the problem is if you have a heart attack, love to go to Thailand, okay? Love to get bypass surgery. However, in order to get there, you have to hire a private aircraft. You can't go in commercial. It has to be a life support aircraft, and you have to have a paramedic go with you, maybe two. It's going to cost you, I don't know, $10,000-15,000. It's going to cost a lot of money to do this. And then have ambulances take you to the airplane, and have ambulances in Thailand take you to the hospital. It's just not too feasible all the time, and it's also dangerous. You can't fly on typical commercial air flights because the air pressure changes, especially international flights, within the cabin. Mike should be at the party. He's coming back from Guam on this Sunday. Okay, I'll make sure I invite him for the Christmas party. But he said he couldn't make it this Sunday, but he said he couldn't make the Monday, so maybe it would be just too much for him. That guy was a character on the last video about it. Yeah, well, a little too much detail, honestly, for me. Had a layover. If you haven't watched the last video, you got to watch the last video I did on Tatum. Had a layover in Hong Kong, says Duke, this past September on the way to the Philippines. I was singled out because I had an inhaler for seasonal allergies. It was treated harshly. I was treated harshly, really, and felt threatened just for an inhaler. Wow. Yeah, that's bullshit. But you must have gone out of the airport to go back through TSA or customs or something. So I would not even. I would be very concerned about going out of the airport in another country. And Hong Kong technically now is communist. It's China. Have your doctor's prescription list with you. Have your doctor's prescription list with you. Well, yeah, that should be good. I retracted it because, okay, here's for Alex. I mistyped the same thing, and it wouldn't let me edit. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for explaining. I always wonder, what were you going to say? But it's just mistyped. I got it. What did Paul Old Dog say about the Tatum video? Haven't heard from him about it yet. I don't think he watched it. We don't always watch each other's videos. We got better things to do, man. We usually are talking about the same stuff, okay, that everybody else talks about, okay? And so if I happen to see a title that sounds interesting, like I haven't seen that, haven't been there, or someone's interesting, I might watch Paul's. But the same for him to watch me, because bottom line, it gets to be a little too much to watch everybody else's videos. There's so many guys here that do videos. I don't know. He hasn't said anything. I was waiting for him to say something. He may. I run into him from time to time. Do you need to take time for yourself? You do need to take time for yourself. You don't want to get burned out. Well, I keep so busy. I'm not burned out. I just have a lot of things to do. I have a long list, daily lists, weekly lists, monthly lists. The longest period there is for me was a 6-month stint settling up a business venture 20 years ago. 6 months. Numerous trips back and forth since over 20 plus years. Medical care in Thailand always. Medical is great in Thailand. I'll be honest, I had medical procedure in Thailand. It was extremely professional. They picked me up from the hotel in a limo. They had a wheelchair waiting for me when I arrived. They took me out for lunch. They fed me. They took X-rays. They even took an MRI of my ankle because I had hurt it, which I keep hurting it. And they recommend. I saw doctors right away, all before 1 or 2 in the afternoon. This is all done from the morning on. They also took me back to my room. They gave me all the prescriptions I needed, including what was it they called? Like a can't think of the word of it. Something to help me walk. So and they had a boot on my foot, so I wouldn't walk, bend the ankle or twist it. They put a kind of like a Velcro tied solid thing to keep my foot and leg, so I'm not putting any pressure on the ankle and not twisting it. I don't know what kind it is, but it was like a zip tied, padded foot and ankle. It went up the leg a little bit, and incredible whole thing with medications and everything that I needed, pain medicine as well as antibiotics and everything else. The whole thing was $205. It was ridiculous. I was wondering, how am I going to pay for this? Because they did so much. I mean, we're talking an MRI, X-rays. Saw the doctor 2 times. Fitted me for the foot. They had me pick up all this medicine, and I also had a pair of crutches, and oh my God, the whole thing, and picking me up and taking me back to the hotel, the whole thing, with reports and suggestions to buy certain shoes, blah blah blah, $205. You can't beat Thailand for medical, and it was so professional. And their equipment was so modern, and the hospital was so clean. It was amazing, and that was in Bangkok. Do you ever do an interview and say to yourself at the end, man, I wish I didn't bring them to the house? Yes. So I had a guy come here once with a cooler of beers, and he already came halfway drunk, and he wanted to be on, and it was set up for him to do an interview. And he brought a girl with him who also drank heavy, and he was Vietnamese. Okay. And I sat down and talked with him out front for a little bit, and I realized all he wanted to do was push his artwork. He's using me to sell his artwork online. And he's showing me these drawings he's done. And the guy was almost obnoxious. Okay. And I sat with him for over 30 minutes, and I finally decided, I'm so sorry, my equipment's not working right now. Maybe I can get it back up and going. I didn't even bring him into the studio. I never even showed it to him. I didn't even bring him in my house because he was a drunk, and he was obnoxious. I don't like drunks. Anyway, we're at 10:32. And then I did have one video where I videoed a girl, and she was honestly too young. Even though she signed the release, she was Filipina. She was 19, I think. And I didn't know ahead of time who somebody was bringing. They said, we have somebody. I used to pay 500 pesos to a Filipina to bring her friends over. And I would pay the Filipina that showed up 500 pesos to come on and talk about herself. But this girl was so naive. And I could tell that there's no way I could put this video out because she doesn't understand these horny old dudes are going to be hitting her up for a lot more than just helping her with her expenses in school. And so that video actually never got posted. I buried it and ate the 1,000 pesos I paid because I didn't want to do her wrong. So sometimes it happens. Sometimes you have. I had a video where I recorded somebody. One of my very, very first videos I did at a McDonald's with a guy. It was a wonderful video. The problem was there was a lot of noise over the loudspeaker. They were calling out orders, and there was another group of kids that sat next to the next booth, and they were very loud. And so, I was using the microphone on the phone. I didn't have separate lapel microphones, but this guy couldn't come into my studio because he was leaving that day. So I figured I'll do the recording. And when I played it back, it was so much noise you couldn't hear what he was saying or what I was saying. Sounds dropped out from the chatter and noise from other people or loudspeaker noise, and they also had music. And that was another problem: is you can't put a video up that has music because then you have copyright laws. So that one went to hell. It didn't make it. And then I did another live video about a guy that it was another one. I don't like doing off-site, so I did another video off-site of a guy building a house and everything else. And the problem with that one is I forgot to push record, and I held the phone in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. So I let's be honest, I fucked it up. I was new to it. So first thing is I put it up and I go, well, how do I make the picture go up and down to sideways? And Kara's looking at me and go, you should have held the camera that way. It has to be landscape. You can't do that. Now, if you stretch it, it won't look right. Okay. Oh, okay. And then the other problem I had with it is that I halfway through it, I stopped it and started again, but only I didn't start it. So I lost the other half. It never recorded. And when I got all done and we went through all these details and everything else, then I look at the phone and I push the button to stop it. And then it says recording started. It's like, oh, shit. Okay. So there's a lot to learn in being a YouTuber. It's a lot more difficult than you realize. You've got lighting problems, sound problems. And I says, you know what? I'm doing a studio. I'm not doing anything outside my studio, or very rarely. I'll do anything outside the studio because I can control everything here. Okay, I can change different things here. My heading I could change. My picture I could change. I could change lighting. I can control everything. I have soundproofing, mostly soundproofing. I have backgrounds. I don't particularly like the background I have right now, but I have backgrounds and I can do water. Usually I like water scenes. It's too late to change it now. I could change to a different scene. I can do a lot of things with this. So I could have a guest camera. I could split it. I could add digital images. So I have different digital images that I can add. Here's some water scenes. That's better. I can do a lot of things. I have hundreds of I can make it night sky. Let's see, night sky. Let's go to night sky. I could go to a ship in the water. I could do a lot of things. I could have videos that actually are moving, which is kind of distracting, but it's pretty. It's just a river flow. I could even shrink me down and put me in the corner, so we could have this brook going, and I could go ahead and change mine to make me smaller, bring me down to the corner. As you see, I'm making it smaller, and I can come way down here, and you can watch the water running, okay, instead of me. Let's see, I got to move over a little bit, but yeah, and we could do that, okay. I could change headings. I could do a lot of things. Very interesting things you could do, not only with sounds, but you can go changeable headings. So I could change my heading. I could take this one off. I could put this one up, be right back. In case I had to go to the CR, I could put the Paul and Goldfinger show. When he was coming here, I could just have Goldfinger Minute. I could change the color. I could change the font. I could change the size. And then, I think if anybody starts, it says live starting soon. That's when before I just start. So there's a lot of things you could do. And if I don't like the Goldfinger Minute the way it looks right now, which I don't know why it's in red and so small, I could change it. Select font. We can go to bold, apply it. We can change the color, select color, and go to gold, apply it, and I can even make it bigger. I can unlock it here and go make it bigger, move it over. Well, it's maybe a little too big. So you see a lot of things you could do. So there you go. This is all because I use OBS, and you could do a lot of things. And then we're going to make me bigger again. I'll make me a little bit bigger. There we go, and put me off to the side. So there's a lot of things you could do. I mean, with once you start learning it. So earlier I did the sounds. Right now I'm doing the picture. And then I could change the lighting. So I can make the lighting brighter or darker. There's brighter lights. Here's low lighting. So there you saw it flash. This is just almost no lighting. The cameras work pretty good at low light, but I usually like a little bit of light because you might get shadowing in the corners or on the sides. So I can change the background. I can change anything. I can make me disappear. No, that disappeared. Me disappear, and I can still talk to you guys, and I can change my voice. So as we saw earlier, I could change my voice to anything I want. I could change it into a girl's voice if I wanted to. I could have fun with it. So now you guys know there's a lot you could do. I'll leave it that way. But anyway, the background with the water running is kind of cute. Let's go back. It's healthy to stay active. Yep. There's no magic in a peptide. There is no magic in a peptide vial. You need to fix nutrition, lift weights, and more. Well, let me tell you something. Why do you lift weights, Rick? Okay. What if I said there was no magic in lifting weights? Everything is a tool. Okay. So peptides is another tool to help you. There is magic in peptides. Peptides is an amino acid. It's something you actually have already in your body. So it's helping you. And I have guys that work out I don't eat this anymore. I have guys that work out and they want to get tone, and peptides will support that. There's a peptide for that, either Cardilax, MOTS-C, and things like that. There are people that have skin problems, age spots. KPV will help with age spots. KPV-CU and there's several peptides that will help you with age spots and toning and coloring. There's actually peptides that will tan you, believe it or not. People have prostate problems. There's peptides and you know what? It's a cure. It's not a medicine. Okay, it's not a treatment. Medicine is a treatment. So yeah, there is magic in peptides, and that's why they're so popular. It literally fixes what's wrong. And it's a tool like anything else. So if you wanted to lose weight and you don't have the energy, there's a peptide to help you lose weight naturally, not get the hunger pains or the mindset thinking I want a sweet or I want a salty, I want chips, I want snacks. There's a peptide for that, and it allows you to have, and there's a peptide to give you energy to get you out there to start working out with those weights. So people think, you need to fix nutrition. Well, yeah, you do. You do need to fix nutrition just for overall health. But to be honest, there's a place for peptides in everybody's life. There's a lot of things that it helps. Okay, now, Duke. No, never left the airport. They made everyone go through security. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm stopping in Hong Kong anytime soon. Where did you get the chair? Oh, there's a Ace Logic here in Dubaguetti. They're a computer store. And I saw those chairs. I chose the red one. Complex carbs aren't bad for you. It's all the simple carbs that are bad. Well, that's true, but carbs are still carbs. Everything causes the insulin response. I don't care if it's protein. No, that's not true. You're not a doctor. Carbs or fats. Okay, fats, no. Protein and fats don't turn into sugar, my friend. And that's a proven fact. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about. Rick, you have some preset ideas in your mind. God help you, because I can't. I like the background. Great. Do you have a green screen behind you? Yes. I have green screens behind me and behind my guests, which his camera's not on, of course. I've lost 85 pounds in 1 year on the carnivore diet. Excellent. I lost weight one time, too, on the carnivore diet. It was tough. I'm pretty much on that now. I eat a little bit of carbs, but not very much. I say very low and not every day. Rarely ever touch rice or potatoes, French fries. I don't eat that. I don't eat potato chips. I don't drink anything with sugar. So I'm on a pretty low carb, 1 meal a day, low carb diet. I'm going to say 1 to 1.5 meals a day because I'll have a snack at night sometimes if I'm feeling hungry. But diet and exercise is definitely helpful. They're all tools to help you get where you need to be. In order to have a healthy body, I'm going to tell you right now, people believe that medications are the way to go, and they're not a cure. They're a treatment, and they have side effects. So I'm not too big on the FDA or big pharma. I would not mind the peptides, but I would be scared. I would mess it up and screw something up. That I can't help you. If you follow the instructions and watch the videos, you probably would be able to do it right. Here I lost 200 pounds. Wow, that's a lot to lose. I lost almost 200 pounds, says Paul, in 2015, and they called it a divorce. All right. Well, you didn't say how, though, unless you said it earlier and I missed it. That's a lot of weight to lose. Thank God you lost it. Hopefully you didn't put any back on. No, you just don't know anything. I'm sorry, Rick. You don't know anything. I'm not even going to read it. You're just not. I says it's. There's a difference between a cure and a treatment. You're going to have to learn. Just like just like someone comes off a waist and they don't weightlift anymore, or someone starts eating fatty foods and everything else, they're going to get back to where they are. That's obvious. It's again, peptides is a tool. It helps you get to where you need to be naturally, okay? And it's a treatment. Well, it's a cure because you don't stay on it, okay? Because it cures a lot of things that you have problems with. It makes bones more dense. It makes cartilage regrow. It cures things, and so you don't stay on it forever. So it's not a forever medication. She weighed 200. She waited 200. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by doing. Anyway, we pretty much covered a lot, guys, today. A lot more than I expected to. Next week, I'm going to have Dean on. Dean's an expert on peptides. He knows a lot more about them than I do. He studies them daily. He's taking quite a few different ones. He's also working out at the gym. He's lost weight. He's gotten more buff. There are peptides that actually do reduce your age, mostly physically, not mentally, but they do turn back time. And if you ever know any movie stars or anything else, they bring peptides in to the States and take them, or they get them from out of the country. And there are peptides that help your skin, your tone, your eyes, medically make you a lot healthier. Will clear up your a lot of things that they claim pills are for, but pills treat, they don't cure. And that's the big problem. And the peptides are amino acids. They're basically you're putting something into your body that it's synthesized on the outside, but it's a natural product within yourself. No, she never did. To win, you're not going to sell that on me. I don't think she ever weighed 200 pounds. That little thing, no way. I've known her for a long time. Ever since she was on Paul. I've been with Paul's channel before he had 500 viewers. So, and now he's at 110,000. So no. Horse peptide reduces your IQ. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry. But Rick M. Don't know where you're getting your information, but I suggest you start investigating better. All right, guys, enough. I don't want to beat up on anybody in particular. We all have a learning curve. We all have to learn things in life. There's new things all the time, and you have to be willing to accept and learn and find out more things that are available to us in life. I like the Philippines. I love the Philippines. No, the women are not just after your money. It helps to have money. They're after security, okay? And security comes, unfortunately, with an income. Gotta run. Day starts here. Busy time of the year. Take care and looking forward to your party and events. Awesome. All right. See you, Smart Biz. And everybody else, you guys take care. I'm going to end it. I wish you all the best. Don't forget at the top, pinned is for the ebook and for peptide information, prices and information I can send you. And you can always send me a personal note too. So, oh my God. Paul, the guy who lost 200 pounds in the comments above. Oh, that Paul. All right, guys, take care. End stream's I got to end the streaming. I got things to do myself. You guys take care. We'll let Paul record on the computer classroom, and that hopefully will be up next week. Later, alligator. Bye, guys.